everyone, it's Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com. Thanks for stopping by today. I know I've been missing in action for a few weeks, and we've been having some family trips and we've been having some fun, and then we dropped off my son at college. So we were spending some family time together before he went off to make his way into the college world. But now that the three of us are getting back into a routine at home, I thought I'd start making a few projects again. And my first one I'd like to show you is this one. And if you can see, yes, I made it with two of the chipboard tags that I'd gotten from Michael's. And on these, I actually did not cover them because it fit nicely with my Make Today Beautiful theme. And I put some nail polish in there, a couple nail files, some cotton balls in a little bag, as well as some candy kisses. Now, I actually made another one as well, and this one's more of a Christmas theme. There's 2 packets of hot cocoa in there. There's 2 of these test tubes that have some mini marshmallows in them. If you're doing something other than giving it to family, however, they do have little campfire marshmallow bags that I've gotten at Walmart before. But I also put some candy canes and a few kisses in there, and as you can see, this one's decorated with peace on earth, and I actually covered the chipboard tags on this one because the spring theme didn't quite mix with my Christmas theme. And I'll show you how to do that today, because today I wanted to make a more fall themed. Now, what I am using are these chipboard tags, and as I said, these are still this is what I have left from the spring collection. And if you don't have the chipboard tags, the dimensions are 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. If you measure over 5/8 and down 7/8, you cut off that corner, and that gives you the same size tag that are in the package that I used. Now, the one thing about this one is if you're doing one where you're using a ribbon as a handle, like in this Christmas one, you want something a bit stiff, because as you hold the ribbon up, it's going to pull the top of the tags in a bit. And the chipboard ones will hold up to it, so that's not a problem. But if you want to create your own tags, use some thick cardstock, layer a couple of thick cardstocks, or you can even make it with your own chipboard. Now, this one I used a thick popsicle stick, and I'll show you how I did that one on the one I'm doing today. Okay, let me leave this out here so you can see it, and let me show you what we need for this project. You will need 2 chipboard tags, and I went ahead and already started covering them with some of the score tape. You want something really sticky, really strong adhesive to hold the paper that you're going to use onto the tags. So I'm using score tape. You could also use wet glue. I tend to stick everything to myself if I do that, so I'll use the score tape, or I'll use some of the heavy-duty glue stick. You need a piece of cardstock for the box part that is 6 5/8 by 8 inches. Whatever embellishments you want to use, or ribbons if you want the handle, and whatever it is you want to cover your tags with, if you need to cover your tags. And what I'm going to use is this fallish pattern paper, and the papers I'm using today are from the Thankful Heart from Recollections. So I got this one at Michael's with a coupon. All right, so let me go ahead and clear this off, and we'll get scoring. All right, this is the piece that is 6 5/8 by 8 inches, and we're simply going to score it at 2 inches on all 4 sides. This is a very easy box to create. Just go ahead and fold and burnish your score lines. Okay, now we're going to want to cut into the ends of the box, which are the shorter sides. Go ahead and cut straight up this rectangular part, the center rectangular part of that score line, and do a slight notch into that square corner part. And we'll do that on the remaining ones as well. Okay, so how we're going to put this together is we're going to actually fold that up first, and we're going to fold these back. And if you see they kind of overlap a little bit, you can put it together like that, although it might give you a little bit of bulk. So let's go ahead and just trim our flaps. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure that when you hold it over that they don't overlap anymore, because that'll reduce the bulk. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and glue our flaps in place. I'm using wet glue for this one. And go ahead and just put them on all these flaps. And pull that up and just pull these back and meet the score lines at the sides of your end flap. And I'll go ahead and push that down. And same with your other one. Pull your center flap up and fold your 2 tabs over. Okay, now that's our box part of it. Let's go ahead and cover our tags. All right, so let me go ahead and take off my backing from my score tape. Okay, so let me turn this over. I want the stripes to go vertical. I think that would be really sweet with this box. Okay, because this is a right angle here, I'm just going to go ahead and line this corner of my tag up with the side and the bottom. And stick that down. And then I'll just cut up the side of the tag and across the angles and the top. And if you didn't quite trim it well the first time, just go ahead and go back again and trim it again. Now you'll notice that the hole is covered, and we want the hole open because we're going to use it for our stick or for the ribbon if you want to. So I'm going to take my 1/4 inch hole punch, and you can just line that up in there and pop it, and it will open it up. And there's my tag. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so I'm going to do the same for the other one, and because this is my one that I know is straight, although this one's pretty straight because I cut it straight, I'm going to line it up on this side this time. Alright, so let's go ahead and glue our tags to the sides of our box, and we're going to just put some wet glue on the whole box on the end and stick it to the bottom of the tag. Now I made it so it's just about maybe a 1/16 of an inch on both sides, but I want the bottom to be right across the bottom of the box, so I'll just go ahead and stand it up to make sure that it's flat, and go ahead and press that down. And do it to the other one as well. There, isn't that sweet? Now, as I said, you could use a ribbon as a handle, and I would just push it through and then tie a big fat knot and probably anchor it with a glue down on both sides. But you want to make sure that you have some sturdiness to this, because if it's just the cardstock, if you're just making your own cardstock tag, it will bend over as you pick it up. You know, the tension as you pull up the ribbon will kind of bend the ends over. So just make sure it's pretty sturdy, because if it's chipboard weight, then it'll hold strong as you pull up the ribbon on the top. But for this one, I'm going to show you how I did the stick part of it. Now, what I used for them were these cookie sticks, and it is a thicker lollipop or a thicker cookie pop stick, probably about and just, yeah, probably about 1/4 of an inch, just under 1/4 of an inch in diameter. And I got these either at Michael's or Hobby Lobby's in the party section. They're $2.49, and I always use a coupon because I don't buy things at full price usually. And what I did for this one is I actually went ahead and colored it kind of to match the cardstock, you know, kind of give it a little wooden appearance as well. And I used a marker on that one. Actually, I had the coordinating marker, but this time I'm going to use some early espresso, and how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to roll it on my ink pad. So you can just roll these on your ink pad, and I will hold it all the way very at the end because you don't need the whole stick. We'll be cutting off part of it, and I'll go ahead and get the end, at least one end done, and I'll set this aside to dry. But I already finished one, so it would be dry by the time I started the video. And let me hold on to my ink pad a second because I'm going to have to use it to cut my stick. So let me go ahead and put that through, and I'll put it through a little bit more, maybe about 1/4 or 3/8 of an inch on both sides, and then I'm going to mark it because that's where I'm going to cut it. And I'll cut it with a actually a little pair of wire cutters that I use for jewelry. And how I do that is I just kind of snip and roll it, snip and roll, to make a little bit of a neater cut, because I'll just keep cutting through layers on this because it is like rolled paper. And just keep putting more pressure down until it goes. Okay, and then what we'll do is if you need to kind of flatten that with a little bit of emery board, you can. I'll just go ahead and pull out my ink pad again and color the end. So that's colored too. Alright, so for the end of it, I'm using a little bit of the Celebrate jute that I think I showed you for the last, oh, I don't know, half a year, because I bought it on a coupon and there's a lot of it, so you'll probably see it even more. And I put some glue at the very end. You can use a little bit of tape if you want to use 1/4 of an inch tape, just to catch on my twine. And I left myself a little edge because I wanted to tie a bow, and then just wrap this around the end. And when I got back, I kind of tied a knot. And what this does is it helps the stick from not pulling back through. You can also glue it in place with some glue from a glue gun, hot glue. Or if once you tie a bow, you can stick that with a glue dot, and that will hold it as well. So what I'm going to do is push this through. And this is probably the trickiest part, is I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side after I put it in. So let me go ahead and put some glue on this, rub it around. And I kind of want to have the knots on the same, so I'm going to put the knot up, so I know to put the knot up on this one. And same thing, I'm going to leave myself a little bit to tie a bow, and I'm just going to pull this around. Alright, let me make sure my knot's up on this side. Let me get my knot up on this side. Alright, and I think that's really sweet. It makes it look really nice. Alright, so you can tie a bow, you can put a tag on it. You can, if you're tying a ribbon through it, you can just, you know, put the knot from your ribbon and tie a tag to that. I just think this is really sweet. Alright, and when I get the bow the way I like it on this, I actually just take a glue dot and stick the back of the bow to the tag. So I'll pull this out a little bit and get the back of the bow stuck right to the tag, and that helps anchor it in there. Okay, so that's how I do my little basket. Let me go ahead and decorate it and I'll be right back. All right, let me show you what I did before I filled the basket. And I just cut out some of the cut aparts from that same paper pack and some pumpkins from one of the papers and put them on both sides. This one says give thanks and this one says enjoy the little things. And I think it'd be a very nice basket to tell someone that you're thinking of them and you're thankful for them as well. So let me go ahead and fill it and I'll be right back with that. All right, so let me show you what I put in here. I have 2 of the Tazo organic chai tea bags, and that's this one right here. I have 2 of the honey sticks, and I got these at World Market. I have 2 of these wonderfully smelling Mexican pumpkin candles, and they smell really nice for the fall. And I threw in a few of these Werther's hard candies, the hard caramel candies. And let me go ahead and put it in a bag. All right, so there you are. It's packaged up as a beautiful gift with some honey and hard candies, tea, and some candles. And I think it would make a very sweet gift for maybe even someone who's not feeling well, but certainly for a friend as well. All right, let me bring them all back in. So I hope you like the project and give it a try. It's quick and it's fun and it makes a nice little carrier for some treats, goodies, or anything else you want to put into it. And it would be cute for Halloween as well. If you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of new videos as I upload them. For more information on this project and others I've done, please go to rejoiceandcreate.com. And until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!